Welcome all. Today let us study about Chutus, Banas, Alupas. Chutus of Banavasi. Their capital was Banavasi, Sirsi Taluk, Karwa district. The Chutu was the vassals of Shatavana emperors. They ruled over Kuntala Desha, also known as Banavasi Nadu. The earliest known ruler was Chutukulananda, who was also known as Vinukada. He had married Naga Shri, daughter of Shivaskanda Shatakarni. They were also related to Pallavas. His successors were Udayananda, Chutukulananda too. Their coins have been found in Sirsi, Malavalli, Chandravalli. This show their commercial contact up to Chitradurga and Mandya district. An edict of Banavasi refers to a construction of Buddhist vihara and a tank at Banavasi. This information found on the Nagarakallu. Malavalli inscription refers to grant of Lattavi village to a Vedic Brahmin. The coins of Chutus are worth mentioning. These were discovered by Marvin Smith at Chandravalli and General Pierce at Banavasi during 1947. Their coins were 3 cm in weight. Their weight was 10 grains to 250 grains. They have the symbols of hills, birds, animals, swastik, Nandi feet with letters in Brahmi script. These letters gave the names of Chutukulananda and Mudananda. There is a symbol of Three Ratna on the reverse side of the coin. Next, Banas of Banavadi. They ruled from 339 to 1476 AD. Their capitals were Bankapura, Piraipura, Patali. Historically, an inscription of 339 AD found at Madhumunuru in Mulabagul Taluk refers to the Banas. Tamil works like Shilapadikaram Manimekalai refers to Banapuram, which was recorded as Perubanapadi in Tamil inscription. Talugunda inscriptions of 450 AD refers Brihad Banas. According to these inscriptions, Chalukya Emperor Vikramaditya I defeated Rajamalla of Banavadi. Even the Cholas and Gangas had surrendered areas in Banavadi to the Chalukyas. Important early rulers of Banavadi were Jayanandi Varma, Vijayaditya, Jagadekamalla, Prabhu Merudeva, Vikramaditya II, Vikramaditya III. Let us know about early extent of Banavadi. During the above rulers, Banavadi include the areas of Kolara, Chintamani, Srinivasapura, Mulabagilu, Sidilagatta, Tumukuru, Gubbi, Anantapura, Chitturu, Karnoolu, North Arcot and South Arcot. In the later years, they ruled over Madurai and Tiruvannamalai. In the beginning, Banas became the vassals of Shatavahanas. Then they ruled under Kadambas, Pallavas, Gangas, Rashtrakutas, Chalukyas and lastly the Hoysalas and the Vijayanagara rulers. Many inscriptions show that Mayuravarma received the tribute from the Banas. Konguni Varma of Ganga dynasty had expelled Banas from Kolar to Anantapura. According to Peddavada Guru inscription, Pulakeshi II had defeated Banas and had collected Swarnakara or tribute of gold coins. He had appointed them as vassals of Kolar and Anantapura district. They were called Parbanas in medieval Kannada. They were called Brihad Banas in Sanskrit inscription. The Chalukyas had assigned Gutti and Jagamala Madugu Taluk to the Banas. They established matrimonial alliance with the chieftains of these areas. By about 750 AD, Banavasi extended up to Kadapa district including Rayanadu. During the days of Sri Purusha of Ganga dynasty, Banarasa granted an agrahara to the Brahmin families of Dindiganuru. They had become prominent in Punganuru, Talakadu, Umaturu. By that time, Kirtivarma of the Chalukyas conquered Sikkundi, Kanchi and other parts. Within a short time, he was defeated by the Rashtrakutas. Thus, the Banas came under the rule of Rashtrakutas. Banavadi included Avani Nadu, Punagunda and Elu Nagara Nadu. In 788, Sri Purusha of Gangas was defeated by Pallava king Nandivarma with the help of the Bana king Jayanandi Varma and gave Gangavadi to him. In the meantime, Rashtrakuta Emperor Dhruva tried to reconquer Gangavadi and Banavadi and sent Govinda III. These were conquered and tributes was collected. The Banas declared independence during the weak rule of Vijayaditya. However, in 816, Vijayaditya reconquered Banavadi with the help of Rajamalla I, Jagadeka Malla from 835 to 850. Frequent wars were fought between the Pallavas and Gangas, in which Bana king Vijayaditya was killed and in his place Jagadeka Malla came to power. Jagadeka Malla ruled peacefully as a vassal of the Gangas. He had matrimonial alliance with the Ganga dynasty. Next, Vidyadhara from 850 to 895 AD. He had married Ganga Shivamara's daughter, thereby his prestige enhanced. He was given a large part of Gangavadi as dowry. After him, Merudeva ruled from 895 to 910. He was succeeded by Vikramaditya II. His successor Vijayaditya III ruled for a long time. He took part in the wars between Gangas and Rashtrakutas. His son Vikramaditya III came to power in 949. Vikramaditya III from 949 to 61. He shifted his loyalty from Gangas to Rashtrakutas. In the meantime, Rashtrakuta Emperor Krishna III had given his sister Revabe to Ganga ruler Bhutuga. Rashtrakutas and Gangas had to defend their territories against the invasion of the Cholas. In the Battle of Tokkalam, Chola ruler Rajaditya was defeated with the help of Bana king Vikramaditya. He was rewarded with the territories of Perubanappadi consisting of Arcot district. A few years later, he has offered Princess Arinjigai to the Chola dynasty. Thus, Chola became the friend of Banas. Later rulers of Banavadi. During this period, Trivikramadeva, Mutturasa were prominent. They conquered Madurai from the Pandyas and ruled as Maduranayakas. They were called Banadi Raja Mahabali in the inscription found at Sri Valliputtur in Tirunalaveli district. Later it came under the rule of Vijayanagara emperors. Next, Alupas of Barkur. Their capitals were Udyavara, Mangalore and Barkur. Among the minor dynasties that ruled over South Canara, the Alupa dynasty is the most famous. A great part of South Canara was called Alvakheda or Tulunadu. In the Puranas, they were called by different names such as Alupa, Alava, Avika, etc. Ptolemy, the Greek astronomer, mentions Alvakheda in his book. According to the Edict of Kadamba Ravivarma, the Alupas were feudatory lords, and the Mahakuta inscription of the Chalukyas of Badami confirms this statement. Next, inscriptions. The Barkur dynasty lasted for a very short time, but they have many edicts issued in Sanskrit and Old Kannada. They have also minted copper coins. They have built many temples and forts. The copper edict excavated at Belmannu is the only one of its kind that is available. A good number of viragals and edicts relating to the civil wars are found. These do not throw much light on the influence wielded by the neighboring states over the Alupa king. And in some of the edicts, peculiar words like Varkai, Medumegi, Nuttu Mudimai are found. Most of the edicts from 10th to 14th century are in Sanskrit and Kannada, but Kannada and Malayalam scripts are freely used. The Pratima edict, that is carved on the statue, found at Kadri, belongs to Kundavarma's period and dates back to 968 AD. The month, date and the day mentioned here are according to the solar calendar. First, Alupas of Udyavara from 650 to 950 AD. Alvarasa I ruled Alvakheda from 650 to 663 AD. He belonged to the Pandya dynasty. His emblem has two fishes. As per the dynastic details, Chitravahana ruled from 663 to 730 AD. He was followed by Alvarasa II, who ruled from 730 to 765 AD. Next, Chitravahana from 765 to 800. Next, Ranasagara from 805 to 815. And Shvetavahana up to 815. Next, Alvarasa from 815 to 860. Next, Alvarasa II from 860 to 870. Vimaladitya from 870 to 900. Ramanjaya from 900 to 930. Next, Dattalupa from 930 to 950. The early kings ruled over Tulunadu and Pombucha, that is the western parts of Mysore kingdom. The reign of Chitravahana I is said to be the golden age of the history of the Alupas. He bent back the Pandyans of Madurai. Pleased with his conquest, the Chalukyan emperor Vijayaditya gave his daughter in the marriage to him. But during the period of Alvarasa II, they had to come feudatories to the Pallavas. They again came under the sway of the Rashtrakutas during the reign of Ranasagara. Since their edicts do not mention of the name, their chronology is not known exactly. During their rule, Udayavara was the capital and later Mangalapura, that is Mangalore, became the center of administration. Next, the Alupas of Mangalore and Barakur from 950 to 1400. The history of Alupas of Barkur, who flourished from 10th to 14th century, can be learned from the inscription. Their inscription help us to fix the period of their rulers as follows. Kundavarma from 950 to 980, Jayasimha from 980 to 1010, Bankideva from 1010 to 1050, Alvarasa 5, 1050 to 1080, Jayasimha 2, 1080 to 1110, Kavi Alupendra from 1110 to 1160, Kulashekara 1 from 1160 to 1220, Dattalupa 2 from 1220 to 1250, Veerapandian 1 from 1250 to 1275, Ballama Mahadevi from 1275 to 1285, Bankideva 2 from 1285 to 1301, Sovideva from 1301 to 1335, Kulashekara 2 from 1335 to 1346, Bankideva 3 from 1346 to 1355, Kulashekara 3 from 1355 to 1390, Veerapandian 2 from 1390 to 1400. Next, their administrations. Mangalore was their first capital and later on Barakpur. They ruled independently and assumed ornamental titles like Pandya Chakravarti, Sthana Vallabha, Prithvi Vallabha, etc. For a period of 10 years from 1010 to 1020, the Cholas had occupied Alvakheda. They were expelled from Bankideva I. Jayasimha II was not successful in forcing the Hoysalas to retreat, but he did not surrender any part of his kingdom to them, nor did he lose his independence. The Hoysalas had to content themselves with mere victory. Mahadevi, the queen of consort of Kulashekara I, embraced Jainism and generously helped the people. Balla Mahadevi, the queen of Veerapandya I, also ruled kingdom for some time. Her son-in-law Bankideva II rebelled against the queen and ruled independently for some time. Alvakheda rule came to an end during the time of Vijayanagara emperors. Next, cultural contributions. Coins. Some of the coins depict two fishes and the name Pandya and Dhananjaya. Some of the Alupa coins are found in Ceylon. These throw light on their foreign trade. Some coins are found in Goa and Kerala. Sculpture and architecture. During the Alupa period, temples were built of granite and sandstone. The Panchalinga temple at Barkur dates back to the 8th century. The Mahalingeshwara temple at Barkur belongs to 9th century. The Koteshwara temple at Koteshwara, the Subramanyeshwara temple at Kudanadale and Sadashiva temple at Suratkal belong to the same period, but no towers are seen on them. Their walls resemble those of the temples built during the period of Cholas and Gangas. The Saneshwara temple at Baindur and its tower are in the Nagara style of the Kadambas. Their sculpture resembles those of the Chalukyas of Kalyana, the Cholas, Pallavas and the Hoysalas. Those that resemble the Chalukya style are the following: Katiyali Mahishamardini of Shrivalli, Nandikur, Mudukur, Mudbidrai, Saraswati statue of Barakur, Keshava statue of Kumbhashaya and others. Gopal Krishna temple at Mangalore, Vasudeva temple at Todalli are in Hoysala style. Sadashiva statue of Chandeshwara temple and Narayana statue of Sri Krishna Mata at Udupi, Sadashiva statue at Perampalli, Lokeshwara statue at Kadri are in Chola style. They also use the red stone and metal in the making of statues. In the next class, let us learn about Nolambas of Henjeru. Thank you.